Hey, it's Mike Bundren, founder of the iNLP Center and an iNLP fellow trainer. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to assume in this video that you have listened to the mini course, 3 soul-stirring questions. What we're going to do here is take the information that you gathered about yourself in that mini course and talk about what to do with it. A lot of people end up with some amazing insights into their life. And a lot of people also end up overwhelmed. It's like, wow, I've just discovered this thing about myself that I didn't realize before, or I kind of knew it, but now I really know it. And what do I do with it? In fact, in a few minutes, you're going to be able to watch a piece of work that I do with Hope, where she took the same mini course that you took, and one of the questions she got really hung up on because she discovered something about herself that she wasn't entirely comfortable with. And we took some NLP principles, and I had a discussion with her, and she took that information and turned it into a meaningful goal that she could pursue and produce measurable results in her life. And so I'm really excited to share that with you. But first I want to talk about, how do we do this? What are the principles upon which we can take raw information about ourselves and turn it into a goal? Well, here are the 3 principles to keep in mind. The first principle is when you make a goal, is that you state the goal in the positive. You talk about what you want, not what you don't want. So I could tell you that I don't want to be poor, I don't want to be sick, and I don't want to be lonely. And I've just told you a whole bunch of stuff about what I don't want, but I haven't said what I do want in my life. And so we want to state the goal in the positive. Talk about what we want, not what we don't want. The second thing to keep in mind is that whatever goal that we have is controlled by ourselves and not by other people. So I could say to you, well, I want my son to behave, I want my boss to give me a break, and so forth. Well, I'm talking about what I want other people to do and not things that are really within my control. So principle number 2, things that are in your control, stated in that way. And the third principle to keep in mind is chunking. So I could set a goal about, I want to totally transform my life. Okay, I may want to, but that's a really big goal. How can we take that and do what we call chunk it down? Break it down into smaller bits and pieces, a smaller, more realistic goal that I can accomplish in a reasonable time frame. And when we have that, we can be more easily inspired to move forward toward that. So with these principles in mind, we're going to break to a piece of work that I did with Hope that incorporates a couple of these principles, and we'll just leave it at that. Really, really enjoy this piece of work, and we'll go on from there. Okay, here we are with Hope. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope, you've taken the mini course, the same one that you took, and you and I are going to have a conversation about what you discovered. I have no idea at all what it is that you're thinking about, what's going on. This is not rehearsed. The point is, we're going to have a discussion. We're going to apply the principles that I talked about earlier in the videotape, and we're going to figure out how to turn this into a goal. Is that fair enough? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, which question spurred the thought that you're thinking about?
Question number 3.
Okay.
Which seemed like the worst one because I have to admit something about myself that I don't want to admit.
Oh, okay. Are you going to admit that to us? Okay, what do you got?
I think I have an anger problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I haven't wanted to say that about myself because that's not a great thing to have.
Uh-huh.
Especially all the movies about people with anger problems and all of that. I don't want to be looked at that way, but I think I do, and I need to do something about it.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's actually that's a big step. Yeah, congratulations for that. You know, we never said that we were light around here. I mean, these questions, the soul-stirring questions, they really are soul-stirring questions, aren't they? I mean, if you really take it to heart, they inspire you to be honest with yourself. And you know, congratulations for that. That's great. So you have an anger problem.
I guess I do.
Okay. Now, we could launch into a whole history of an anger problem and all those kinds of things. we're not going to do that here. I don't want to do that here because this isn't therapy. This is taking this information and turning it into a productive goal. So you've got an anger problem, and that's not the goal. So what do you think would be a worthwhile goal? Have you thought about that? Or just where are we in the process?
Well, I've been thinking about, yeah. I mean, I've just started thinking about this today, really, and I think I don't know where to start. I have no idea where to start with it. You could say, well, maybe I have anger because of circumstances, but you can't really go back and undo all those things. So kind of I have to just say, okay, this is just how it is. Now what can I do to move out of it?
Okay.
And it's a very big thing, so I don't know what to do.
Right.
How do you not get angry when you're angry?
Right.
Or how do you not show it, I guess? I don't know.
Well, that's a good question, and I think that hints at a goal, which is you don't want to get angry anymore, at least not to the degree that you did and what have you.
Right.
And this actually, again, completely unrehearsed. We talked about earlier that one of the principles to keep in mind is let's focus on what we want, not what we don't want. Now, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. In fact, it's a breakthrough to realize what you don't want, because in that you're admitting what you got.
Yeah, and
right?
I can now do something about it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not in denial.
Right. Right. So, and it may be premature. Sometimes when we have a realization like this, it takes a while to settle in. So, maybe it's too early to set some goal, and maybe you're just allowing the information to integrate. I don't know. But let's take a shot at it. So you've got this anger that you don't want. What do you want? In other words, what would be a meaningful goal that's stated in the positive that you want? If you don't want anger, what do you want?
Right. I want to be able to not explode. Now I'm not doing the positive again. It's so hard not to do that. I want to be able to be calm and manage a situation in a calm way.
Right. You see what an amazing difference that is? We've gone from anger that you don't want and not wanting to explode to stating it in the positive. You want to be calm and manage a situation in a calm way.
Right.
So think about that for a moment, just being calm and managing a situation in a calm way. See, you can tell your countenance has changed already thinking about this goal in the positive, right?
Right.
That sounds really worth doing.
Yeah.
So it's a goal to be calm. It's stated in the positive. Now, one of the other aspects of this that we talked about is that it's controlled by you. And you've met this one. In other words, you're not saying, well, I want the people around me to be calm. You're not saying, I want my kids to be calm. I want my husband to be calm. Although you probably want those things. But the goal here is you're talking about you be calm in the situation around you. Okay. The third principle that we talked about is making it a manageable chunk size. In other words, is it something that's concrete and it's something that feels doable to you? And I think that this one in particular, the way that you phrased it, it's sort of nebulous. In other words, be calm.
Yeah.
Does that mean every moment of your life for the rest of your life? I mean, you're not going to... That doesn't happen.
And I'm setting myself up to fail if I try to achieve this big thing. Right. So I can see I need to find some small things to do, how to deal with it in small bites.
Yeah. So give an example. Let's start with when or where or with whom, in what specific situation do you want to be calm and manage yourself better? And there may be many, but pick one.
Okay, well let's pick one that I've been having a challenge with lately, which is my teenager.
Now forget that one. It's too tough. Okay, your teenager.
Yeah.
Any particular time and place or circumstance with him? Because you're not angry. You don't have anger toward him all the time.
I think when he disappoints me with the way he's behaving, with his behavior, when I'm hoping he's going to behave a certain way and he doesn't, and I get really upset about it.
Okay.
It's an expectation. I'm getting upset when it's
when
not
might
met.
when might
my
that
expectation
happen?
is not met by him, I get angry. A great example. Something happened today. We were going to go and have a nice day, and he had a bad attitude, and so I just was very upset because it wasn't how it was gonna, it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go with
Right.
him.
Okay.
My expectation of how he would behave, that he'd be happy and nice and all that, didn't happen. And then I just got really upset.
Okay.
And I don't want to say things I'll regret and all of that.
Okay. So, if I could rephrase your goal, it's you want to be calm and manage yourself better when your teenage son goes against your expectations, doesn't meet your expectations.
Right.
And so, as you think about that, does that seem really worth doing?
Yeah, that happens all the time. So if I could get this one worked out, that would be fantastic.
Well, the point is, it's stated in the positive, right? It's controlled by you. You're not talking about, I don't want him to, go against my expectations.
No,
I don't want him to disappoint
my own
me.
self during that time.
When that happens, you want to manage yourself.
Right.
And it's clear and specific. In other words, it's not be calm throughout your whole entire life. It's not this big, large
Because
chunk.
most of the time I'm fine. It's
Right.
just these times, so
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so there are the three principles stated in the positive, controlled by you, and clear and specific, a manageable chunk size.
Right.
And we've met those three principles. You notice when we started off, it was, I've had this big admission, I have an anger problem. And that is a large chunk. It's something that you don't want, and we're not clear and specific about when and where. And so we've gone from this vague place of something you don't want down to something that you do want, which is to be calm in a specific situation. Now, if we were to take this a step further, we'd start to map out a strategy about how to get there, what tools you need, what specific things get in your way in those situations, and just how to accomplish it. But we would never even begin to be able to map out that strategy unless we had a clear and specific and manageable goal that's stated in the positive, controlled by you. Very nice work.
But
Good
now
job.
I need to figure out how to get there. And so that's where other NLP techniques help me work those details out.
That's right. Absolutely. You should join the iNLP Center. Okay, wasn't that a great piece of work? That's really what it's all about. Hope got really clear on a direction based on information that she discovered about herself through the personal development course, 3 soul-stirring questions. I hope you can do the same thing. Take the information that you discovered about yourself in that mini course and just think about it in the context of what goals need to come of this. And of those goals, can you make them stated in the positive, controlled by you, and a reasonable chunk size so it's realistic for you to get started on it. And you take this information about yourself and take it in a certain direction that's useful in your life. Again, that's what it's all about. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed the mini course. We'll be sending you more emails with useful educational information in it. And I hope you consider joining the iNLP Center. We've just got some great programs. As you start to set these goals and take your life in a certain direction, you're going to need tools, you're going to need insights, you're going to need strategies to make it happen. So if you've got a goal to be calm and cool and collected in a certain situation, how is it that you manage your mind? What specific questions do you need to ask yourself? What do you need to picture in your mind in order to calm down? What are the specific things that you need to do to manage yourself, to create greater rapport with other people, and to really be productive in your life? And that's what our iNLP Center online school is all about. We've got a couple of different options that we hope you'll consider. One is the full access NLP practitioner training, as well as various personal development mini courses that we have in the online school. It's $29 a month. You get feedback from me, and you study these courses online at your own pace and in your own way, and ultimately can lead to NLP certification if that's what you're interested in. And then we've got other levels of training, such as an NLP practitioner training that is a video conference, which you have full access to our online school. And then every couple of weeks we have a live group, a small group video session. And then beyond that, we have the one-on-one coaching program with me, in which you take all of the NLP modules, and then you meet with me every 2 weeks over Skype or over the telephone, and I do live coaching with you to integrate this information and apply these skills to your life so that you get the most out of it from your individual perspective. So that's what we're all about. Stay on our mailing list. Keep enjoying the education that we're providing for you. And again, thanks for your time.